Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Solar Effect, shouting for the R&B Talk Show. This episode right here, I'm talking about Bobby Brown's 1982 album, Bobby. This album right here, definitely live up to what Dolby Crew did. We ain't talking about just album sales. We talk about a classic. This album right here had like 13 tracks, say off the album. But also felt like that Bobby album was pretty much, getting half-ass promoted by FCA. Because even though we only got 5 videos, which was Humpin Around, Good Enough, Get Away, That's the Way Love Is, Something in Common. But I felt like we could have had more because at that time, back in the day, when music, television show was actually focused on marketing artists at that time, I feel like, the Bobby album just getting started because like around 1993, the album was on fire, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, got the most plays on BET, MTV, VH1 and stuff like that. Get Away was just, getting started at the time and stuff. And plus at that time, like around 94, Something in Common, Get Away was, was like the most played on there, as well as That's the Way Love Is, because to me, I felt like, we could have got singles and music videos like Pretty Little Girl. That could have been like a remix Jamaican flow type of vibe. We could have got a Maxi Priest type of song and stuff. That would have been hot, man. Also felt like College Girl could have been the next single in between. That was something like Rock With You Part 2, type of vibe. That would have been another classic as well. I also truly believe, I know you guys agree on this one, I feel like Storm Away could have been the last final single, man. That could have been like the Michael Jackson's The Man in the Mirror, you know what I'm saying? Because where like you have Bobby singing, then you have all the images in the background where it's like Bobby sitting on a stool, he's singing and stuff, and they showed all these crazy events going on and stuff, and Bobby's looking at the movie projector and stuff, he's singing. Then one part you see the clouds and stuff storming, and Bobby, he just goes through a whole different level, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like Bobby got cheated out of, when he was promoting that album, you know what I'm saying, through FCA. Because at that time, FCA was going through a lot of changes because they failed Jody Wiley, they failed, a handful of people, in between and stuff. You guys know what I'm talking about, because they would change the different president executives and stuff, but that's a whole different conversation for another, topic video. But, but one thing I can say about this, people never talks about this. When Bobby put out the Bobby album, the good thing that came out of it was, he won an American Music Award. He got a Grammy nomination. Now, I felt like Humpin Around should have got a Grammy win. That's my personal opinion. He was nominated for a Soul Train. He should have won a Soul Train Award for that album. And then also too, he did get like 4 or 5 Boston Music Awards between 93 and definitely 94 around that time and stuff. And it's crazy, because people don't even talk about that, that he won, that many, saying at that time, especially how huge that album was and everything, The album had sold a total of 5.5 million as of 2025. Should be going on 6 million. But back then, the album sold about like 2 or 3 million back then and stuff, But at the same time, I get it because people was like, man, this album should have came out early and stuff like that, Well, people got to understand, I mean, the way Dolby Crew was so huge, it was hard for him to put an album out because like when Dolby Crew came out in '88, the album, man, was just getting started. By the time 1989 came in, it was game over, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like by the time he put out all those singles, then here come the Ghostbusters soundtrack, it was, it was a wrap. So from 88 to 91, the album was demanding, the tours he did and everything else and stuff. So, but yeah, like I said, nonetheless, what could have been if the Bobby album would have had about like a total of 8 or 9 singles instead of 5, because I hate with some albums when they start taking off, they just now get started and all of a sudden it's a cutoff in between, you know what I'm saying? There's always bad business when it comes to situations like that. But anyway, with that being said, it's your boy, Mr. Solar Effect, for the R&B Talk Show. I'm out, y'all. Peace.